What do you do when you want to let someone speak, but you don't really want to listen? Stay tuned. I'm sure you've all heard songs that have sound bites and interviews and stuff like that in them. And you may have noticed that when you hear speech in a musical context, you tend to listen to that more than anything else. So today we're going to do a quick video using the song ANTIVAX from the Plastic Waistband. And we're going to go through one of the problems that we had to solve when we were creating this song. The problem was that, yes, there were times where we wanted the listener to be focusing on the words so that you could actually hear the message. But there are also times where we wanted to keep that vibe going of having the soundbite thing going, but we wanted the listener to focus more on the music during these parts. Here's the section that we're dealing with. So first, without the voices. So now I'll add the voices in, and you're likely to find that you'll be focusing more on those than on the music.
There's pretty intertwined with our academic system, so that's always how it's been. I don't believe in vaccines. I don't even believe in vaccines. Powerful. I believe that it was more harm treated than I can never be. It's now gotten full of our government. Gotten full of our hospitals, dying babies, pretty much intertwined with our academic system, and that's always how it's been. Well, we got really stronger in dealing with vaccines.
So as they are now, they kind of stick out too much to me, because here is where I'd want to hear more of the music. So here are some of the solutions that we found worked the best in pushing them more towards the background, but still having that soundbite kind of vibe to them. So the first thing that you'll probably try if you do this is find a place where the volume is such that you can hear them, but they're not overbearing. So let's try that. So you'll notice even when you're in the barely audible level, just because they're voices, you're kind of drawn more to them than the music. So let's try some other things. So my first guess was to EQ them to make them sit in better.
There's pretty intertwined with our academic system, so that's always how it's been.
So it helps, but they still call attention to them because you just, as a human, you're just gonna be drawn more to the human voice than anything else. So let's try pushing them back in the space by adding some reverb. So we'll start with it off, and I'll add some in as we go. That makes it fit in the mix better, but it doesn't really solve the problem that we're dealing with now of them grabbing too much attention. So if you've seen any of my other videos, you'll probably won't be surprised by what I'm about to try next. So the goal is to feel like you're still listening to speech, but the words aren't really registering with you. You just want it to be part of the texture. So how can we make it not sound like words? Well, the easiest way to do that I found was to just reverse everything. Here's exactly what we had before, but now it's just reversed. So that takes a lot of attention on it, but it's still a bit loud, so let's try to find the best volume for this. So that helps a lot and fits much better into the mix. But there are other things that can help us to push it back even more and call even less attention to that. And for this, I'll just go back to the originals of what we ended up with. Pretty much both of those things are pitch shifting and time stretching. So by using pitch shifting, we can put it into a lower part of the frequency spectrum that calls less attention to itself than the natural range of the human voice. Why the time stretching works is because I'm sure you've experienced this. When you talk to someone who speaks really, really slowly, you'll probably tend to tune them out after a while because it just takes so long to get the information and your mind just wanders. So here's the final product that has pretty much the same EQ and the same reverb as we just created, and also has the reverse, the time stretching, and the pitch shifting. So all of these things are going to contribute to it being less attention grabbing and pushed further back into the mix. So if you're experiencing this like me, you'll probably realize that at first you're going to want to listen to it because you still know that it's a human voice. But once you realize that you can't actually understand what they're saying, you're just going to tune it out and your attention will be moved to the music. But you're still taking in the fact that you're hearing what sounds like it should be speech, but it kind of isn't, you know. It's kind of like listening to a foreign language for a long time that you don't know. After a while, you'll just kind of give up trying to understand, and it just becomes part of like the ambient noise. So that's it for today. Just a really quick tip on how to get voices to fit into your music and keep that texture going without having it grab too much attention. Thanks for watching. My name is Nick Gaumont. This is Milk Your Music. All you need to know is down below.
Subscribe!